How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech. Now, back at CES 2018, Corsair showed off their new Vengeance Pro RGB memory. And as you guys can see here, they did send over one of their kits for me to take a look at. Now, it's not their first LED or even RGB memory. They did first have their LED memory, which was just a white LED. Then they did also have their Vengeance RGB memory. But the problem with their previous RGB memory was that you can only have a single color throughout the entire DIMM at a single time, which was a bit limited when you looked at some of their competitors, like a G.Skill's Trident Z RGB memory, where you could have multiple colors. But now with their new Vengeance Pro memory, you do get 10 addressable RGB LEDs throughout the entire DIMM, which allows you to get that much cooler lighting effects, as you guys can see already here. Now, as for the heat spreader, Corsair did keep it nice and simple by removing those top heat spreader thins, which did kind of get into the way of your lighting. So by removing that, you can see that much more of your light bar and just get that much more lighting throughout your case. The heat spreader is also analyzed aluminum, and it's more of a simple design, which I personally do prefer compared to some of the other ones out there, which can get a bit too crazy personally. Now, as for the kit sizes and the speeds, personally the one I have here is a 16 gig kit to 8 gigs that can go up to 3200 megahertz. But you do get different kits that ranges from 16 to 64 gigs and speeds are from 2666 megahertz to 3600 megahertz. So you do have some options that you can go for. Now, as for the lighting effects, you will need to go download Corsair's iCUE software, which has a bunch of different lighting effects that you can apply and get cool lighting effects, especially now because it is that addressable RGB LEDs. You do again have a bunch of different effects, you have a bunch of different options, of course you can get the standard static color if you wanted to go for that, which just looks like the previous RGB Vengeance memory. You do also get a rainbow wave, rainbow color shift, color pulse, color wave, rain, visor, sequential, marquee, and then also temperature. And then some of the effects you can also change the speeds at which the effects change. You can change the direction from left to right, up and down, so on. And then also the colors of some of the effects as well. Make it a standard static color you would choose, or make it just random so that it just randomizes all of the colors. Now, as for that, you can also link all of your Corsair iCUE enabled RGB products together. So if you do have your memory, let's say RGB fans, you have LEDs, or just some of your peripherals, or the RGB which works with iCUE, then you can link all of them together to get an instant lighting effect, which looks really awesome. Not only that, but Corsair is also partnering up with some of the game manufacturers to link their components to some of their games, which just adds the entire new feeling to how they actually work. So if you look at Far Cry 5, which Corsair is currently has implemented, you can have different effects depending on what actually goes on inside the game. So if you swim, for example, it's going to have a lighter white colors, little blue colors, which is going to echo throughout of your lighting. You also, if you get on fire, it's going to get like a fiery effect. I will show you guys how it looks. And then also, if you take damage, it's going to flash red, and otherwise it's just going to have like the blue and red and white, like kind of like the American flag. It's going to have an effect like that, which just really looks cool. And if they can apply that to more and more games, it's just going to enhance your gaming experience and just make it that much more enjoyable. So I am looking forward to seeing how many more games they can add this to and just make it that it looks awesome. Now, I did also run into a few problems with the new Vengeance Pro RGB memory. First up, I was not able to individually change the colors of the LEDs on the DIMM. It was only fixed on static to a single color, but with the effects I was able to get that color change throughout the LED, or which you would want. But for just a static color, it's exactly the same like the previous Vengeance RGB memory, where it's only static color. You can't really change the colors of the LEDs individually. Secondly, I did also run into a few problems when connecting the previous RGB Vengeance memory with the new Vengeance Pro RGB memory. There it looked like iCUE prioritized the previous RGB Vengeance memory above the new Pro memory, so I wasn't really able to change the effects of the Vengeance Pro RGB memory. It was only focused with the previous version, so that was also a problem. And then finally, I did also run into a problem playing Far Cry 5, where the fans and the RGB LED strip would link with the game, but for some reason the Vengeance Pro RGB memory would just shut down completely and it wouldn't show anything. But when getting out of the game, it was completely fine again. But it did feel like all of these were just some software bugs, so hopefully Corsair will bring out some software update to resolve all of these problems. But now that's pretty much it for my review of the Corsair Vengeance Pro RGB memory. A while back I did make a video comparing the previous Vengeance RGB memory to the G.Skill Trident Z memory, and a lot of guys did say that the Trident Z RGB memory did look better because it did have that multiple colors that you can apply. But now, of course, there's new Vengeance Pro memory. I kind of have to go with the new Vengeance Pro memory. It does look better in my opinion, just because it's more simple and yeah, it just looks kind of a bit better for me. But if you guys want me to make a dedicated video again comparing the new Vengeance Pro memory to the G.Skill's RGB memory, let me know down in the comments below. But if you did like this video, please like, share, comment like always, and then also I will definitely check you guys out in the next video. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll check all of you next time. Cheers guys.